Thank you all for coming out today. My name is Duenas, and today I'll be talking about hospitality and society and PR and how we can incorporate society or hospitality into our public relations interactions. So what exactly is hospitality? Hospitality, the dictionary defines it as the generous and friendly treatment of visitors and guests, or the activity of providing food, drinks, etc. for people who are the guests or customers of an organization. But where can it be found? There's many different industries that hospitality can be seen in. 3 of the most popular ones include hotels, food service, and tourism. And if you think about it, these different industries are multi-billion-dollar industries, and I think there's a reason for that. People want to feel connected, and they want to feel special and valued, and they want to feel good in any circumstance that they go into. But I also do think that hospitality can be incorporated into any field that we want to go into after we graduate. There is all these different industries are service industries, but there is a distinct difference between service and hospitality. So service is what you do to someone, and hospitality is how you make someone feel. So for example, service is if you come over to my house, I'm giving you a glass of water or a glass of juice, making sure that you feel comfortable. But hospitality is me going out of my way to say, how are you doing? Like, how's your week going? How's your family? Having a connection. I even think that hospitality is not even just actions, but it's more of a mindset and attitude that you have going toward a situation. It's having a positive mindset, saying, I can do this, I can connect to this person in this way, I can help this person in this aspect. And it can be brought into any field, honestly. Hospitality is not just actions, but also a mindset. So, we've all experienced negative hospitality. So here's a clip from Meet the Parents. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It is with Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller. And so this clip shows Ben Stiller at the airport trying to get to his girlfriend's house. So here is the clip.
There is room. And without a soda, they stay over that fare difference will be $1,137.11. Would you want me to book you the stage?
Okay.
Did you want chicken advance, Jen? Enjoy your flight.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're only boarding rows 9 and above right now. You'll have to wait.
Well, I'm in row 8.
Please step aside, sir. We'll call your room momentarily. Step aside, sir. Thank you for waiting. Would like to continue with the aircraft now? And now we're in all rows, please. All remaining rows. Enjoy your flight.
So as you can see in this movie clip, the workers at the airport were they weren't hospitable whatsoever. And I think, since I said earlier, hospitality is a two-way street, so the employees there could have gone out of their way just to make a simple question like, oh, where are you going? How are you doing? Or do you have any issues? They can help him with the issues that he had, but they didn't. And because of that, the result was him just having a negative attitude. And so it's just a negative experience for both parties. And I think hospitality, they would have just taken a little step further. They could have totally made the situation different, a positive interaction for everyone involved. And little actions do go a long way. For example, with negative experiences, we also have had those. I definitely have. At this internship that I had this past semester, ended about a few weeks ago, it was at a PR firm down in Irvine. From the first day that I walked in, it was a very cold environment office. None of the executives or the CEO kind of went out of their way to interact with us or just get to know us as interns. Pretty much our email was just put on a list and they knew our hours, and so when we were there they would email us tasks just to do, which I find ironic because I would literally be sitting like 2 cubicles to the left of them and they would just email me and say, if you have any questions, feel free. But they never really went out of their way to teach us anything and go out. And because of that, I know for me, I wasn't excited to go into the internship every day. I was going there because I had to go for school credit, but I wasn't excited, and I think that did come out in my work. I know for sure that I could have done better work, and I tried to do it, but with that type of environment, being involved and surrounded in that, it did affect me. But we also have all experienced positive hospitality as well. My first internship that I ever had was at another PR firm based out in Manhattan Beach. And even during the interview process, the lady who interviewed me was so kind and accommodating and made sure that all my questions were answered. Once I started the internship, everyone was super kind to me, and they would make sure that all my questions were answered. They would go out of their way to talk to me and just make sure that I felt comfortable doing the work that I was doing. And here at Biola also, I've come into contact with many different professors who are super hospitable. For example, my philosophy professor, his name is Professor Waller, he is the nicest man, one of the nicest men I've ever met. He is so accommodating, and he takes the time out of his day to talk to his students. If I email him with anything, he gets back to me within 2 hours, and he brings coffee to us every Wednesday morning, and it's so nice to be able to learn from someone like that. And for me, philosophy is not the most exciting topic whatsoever. I can't understand it, but I'm excited to go into his class and learn from him and see how he interacts with his students in a hospitable manner. And it's definitely someone that I look up to for hospitality. Another example would be I work at Disneyland at a fine dining restaurant, and so I'm able to see and interact with guests from all over the world with different backgrounds and different cultures. And it can be difficult at times because Disney is known for their hospitality with their guests and making sure guests are their number one priority. But for example, about a week ago, I had a guest ask for a Coca-Cola with light ice. So I brought her a Coca-Cola with light ice, and she took a sip and she said, there's just too much ice in here. So I was like, okay, let me go to the back. I literally put 5 ice cubes in her Coca-Cola and I dropped it off. And because of that, I just had like a negative attitude towards her. I was like, here's your soda. But as I was going through my shift, I was like, I'm going to be talking about hospitality. I guess I should practice what I preach. And so I went back to her table and I was running her food, dropping it off. And I saw that she had a birthday pin and said, happy birthday. Her name was Sharon. And so I asked her, I was like, oh, how's your birthday going? And because of that, she started telling me her story about how she had just beaten cancer, and so she didn't even think she was going to make it to this birthday. She started telling me about her family and her life and all her sisters and whatnot, and it was awesome to be able to see that connection happen because of the hospitality that I extended toward her. And that's where I saw service and hospitality come into play. So the service was me dropping off her Coca-Cola with light ice, but the hospitality was me going out of my way to say, hey, hope you're having a good day, like, what can I do for you and how are you doing? And the Bible also discusses hospitality. In 1 Peter 7 through 10, it says, the end of all things is at hand, therefore be self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of your prayers. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Show hospitality to one another without grumbling. As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. And what I really love about this passage is that Peter discusses love, hospitality, and gifts in one thing, and I don't think that is a coincidence. I think we can take all 3 of them and connect them, and I think they should be connected because we can use our gifts through hospitality and love, and we can take this passage and incorporate it into whatever field that we want to go into after we graduate and be the light in the world through this passage. And if we were to live out this passage, we could be the light that everyone needs to see or would want to see. And they don't even necessarily need to be looking for it, but it just happens if you're working with someone, you see like something's different with them, you just notice, and that's just another way that we can be examples of Christ in what we go into. The how does this relate to PR? So as we all know, the definition of PR is to grow and build mutually beneficial relationships between a company and its clients. And that includes so many different aspects of PR. It's kind of sometimes hard to definitely explain what exactly PR is, but to me, what I've experienced, PR is writing pitches, making contacts, event planning, pulling up forms, writing, pitching, whatnot. And sometimes it's impersonal, which I find kind of ironic, because here I am trying to build and grow mutually beneficial relationships, that I feel like I'm hitting a wall sometimes, and I'm not actually making connections with people. But I think as Christians, we should have a different definition and approach to PR. And what I really like this quote, it's from Danny Meyer. He is a chief executive officer of the Union Square Hospitality Group based in New York City. And he said, "The key to great hospitality is hiring people for whom making people feel good is as or more important than how good they are at what they do." And what I really liked about this quote is because it kind of just shows how important it is, like how important your character is. And if hospitality is based in that and found in that it can make such a big difference. Because it doesn't matter what if you're a CEO at whatever company, if you're treating the person to the left of you like they're worthless, then what does that say about your character and what others notice about you? I think employers want to hire people who are eager and relational and want to build there and want to actually be there and want to build the connections between clients and consumers and everyone involved. So in conclusion, I think hospitality is so important, and I've definitely seen hospitality come into play within my past 4 years here at Biola. It makes people feel connected and heard and valued and loved, and I think that's important, especially as Christians, to have that on our mind. And I want to start incorporating the mindset that people are more than what they are, what they've accomplished, but we need to start valuing people because they're people and not just because they are an account executive here or they've accomplished this. Like, there's value just in the fact of being a person, and that's what we need to focus on. In hospitality in my future, I eventually want to get into event planning. That's what I want to do after I graduate. And in event planning, I'm going to be working with different clients by trying to plan bridal showers, weddings, birthday parties, meetings. I want to start doing that, and through that I can use hospitality to connect to my clients and see where they're coming from, their background, what they want. And I think behind everything there's a story that's there to be heard, and hospitality is one way in order to bring that out. But through my past 4 years at Biola and my different experiences, internships and lives and relationships, I've come up to my own personal definition of PR, and that is to build and grow mutually beneficial relationships between organizations, its clients, co-workers, acquaintances, based off of kindness, love, compassion, loyalty, which all stems from hospitality. Now I'd love to open the floor for any questions.